This is right up my alley. Um, so I know you wanted to so the mics are on for sure.
All right.
Please just introduce yourself and
My name is XXXTENTACIon. I'm a 19-year-old Broward County artist or slash rapper. I explore multiple genres, so that is what has led to my prosperity, and me being kind to others as well has led to my prosperity. I rep Broward County fully, Lauderhill, Florida, D-side. That's where I'm from.
that's what's up. Can you explain how you got the name XXXTentacion?
Basically, I came up with it when I was in boot camp. I mean, the name itself means unknown temptation. I had already said that in the last interview, but it means unknown temptation because the XXX was the only unknown numeral that I knew,
Right.
and that I did not know initially. So it just means unknown temptation.
All right, cool. So when you say boot camp, was it Army boot camp, prison boot camp?
It was like a behavioral correctional. I got it court ordered because instead of like prison time, I did program time.
Got you. Wow, that's amazing. So, you did do some time.
Yes, I did.
Okay, what was the situation with the time that you've served?
As far as my current case,
Yes.
I
know
mean,
you can't get into too many details, but whatever
that's
you
fine.
can.
I was released on probation for a home invasion with a firearm and assault with a deadly weapon. I'm currently on probation for about 6 years, and then I still have an open case in Miami-Dade for some actual crazy accusations. But I'm gonna go to trial for it. I know I'm gonna win it because just due to the amount of evidence we have. But obviously I can't go into it too much.
Right.
But that situation is gonna be over with pretty soon, and then I feel like it's just gonna clean up my whole face as of right now because a lot of people are judging me due to that. You know what I'm saying? They think I actually did the shit, so they're kind of on me about it.
Well, it's crazy because I had a conversation actually earlier today with a person, and we were kind of like discussing that. A lot of times, what happens is that when you do have previous records and you do have what you'll call a rap sheet, sometimes people will kind of prejudge you based on another situation.
Yeah.
So it's almost like they'll pretty much say, "Oh, you probably did it."
Whatever they
based
say in
on-
the media, people deem true almost immediately. Like nobody will know that pain until they go to jail and you're basically deemed guilty before. It's really guilty before proven innocent. It's not innocent before proven guilty. Like if you got when I had PBL charges, I didn't get a bond. I got a bond initially. Well, when I first came in, I didn't have a bond. They denied my bond initially, and I had to go to a bond hearing and then get my bond. Like it didn't even come out the gate. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of that shit is bullshit. And I just just speaking on the judicial system, like I'm excited that we're gonna dwell into that shit fully today.
Yeah, definitely. And so you're not hiding the fact that you've had some troubles in the past.
No.
Right.
Not at all.
All right. So let's take things back from the beginning because this is an issue. I have a movement that I have called PK for PM. It's Papa Key for People Matter. And really with that message I'm trying to spread, like I feel a lot of the youth feel like they just give up on life. I don't have a job. My mother's on drugs. There's no opportunities out here.
No good backing, yeah.
Fuck it.
I
You know what I
agree.
mean? So they don't value themselves. They don't value their lives. So I'm just trying to create a movement where it's like, yo, you matter.
All due to their upbringing. In my opinion, from the generations before, if you ask me, I don't want to completely, and no disrespect to you, or because for the people, I want to go for a general perspective to that specific amount of people that I'm speaking on, not anyone in particular. But from the generations before, obviously it led up till now. So you look at these kids, like the Catch Me Outside girl, like what was her upbringing? You know what I'm saying? That made her act this way. And like from the generations before, model citizens are no longer model citizens. You know what I'm saying? These kids are learning from the generations before. So just like you're saying, you're all about people. The only way to change the situation is the people. When we raise our children, obviously, we have to have some sort of at least good structure around them. You know what I'm saying? Good structure to mold them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying hide your kid from the media, but there's a specific amount of teaching that a child needs to really understand something. You know what I'm saying? And you can't force something obviously into a child's mind, but there's a certain amount of love that you have to give people, for that matter, not even just children, people for that matter, to move them in a certain direction. You know what I'm saying? And there has to be a certain amount of mental stimulation to really get that person or that child to grasp and want to grasp it. Because
so it's pretty much, you're saying if you let media raise your kid,
exactly,
these are the results you're going to get.
Yes.
You're going to get the frustration, you're going to get the lashing out, you're going to get the criminalization and all these different things.
Exactly.
Wow. So, I mean, with that being said, you're talking from experience?
My situation I don't want to say it's a different one. Around when I first started growing up, there wasn't as much media. Like I was too young for Twitter to be as popping. Facebook came out like when I got a little bit older, so there wasn't as much social media. But when I was growing up, my mom had it hard. My mom had it really, really, really hard. So she was put in a situation where she really couldn't, mold me like she wanted to. She tried to give me love by financially taking care of me because she seen that as the most important thing. As long as I ate and as long as I had clothes and as long as I had a place to stay, that was the most important thing to her. She was never able to, and I want to quote unquote able to, you know what I'm saying? Because if she could, she would have. She was never able to emotionally nurture me. So that left some sort of, it left some sort of, I guess a burden. I carried a really big burden and self-hate for myself because I felt like I wasn't enough, for a certain amount of time. So I don't want to, like, for my situation, I don't want to blame her. You know what I'm saying? It just, I was thrown into the world and I did experience things on my own, like a lot of things on my own. And that's what, so yes, I guess you could say it's kind of relevant. Yes, because I went through these things myself. So I definitely was raised by the media, but I knew not to act out on it, you know what I'm saying? I would only act out on certain things to market myself and to actually be a genius, to like, all right, like, let's use WorldStar for an example. Yeah. How many times, like, before, when WorldStar was at an all-time high, when I'm talking about, like, 5 million views, 10 million views a day, dropping videos, and it's going ridiculous. When the media, when WorldStar was a big media platform, nigga, they would drop videos, like, simple videos, or, like, all right, when they had, that video of Amber Cole, you know what I'm saying? The young girl that was giving head in elementary school. Right. Shit like that went viral. Right. Shit like that, they was found funny. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that got tens of millions of views, or having sex on camera and exposing it, or showing, like, just doing fuckery, doing foolishness, you get what I'm saying? Started to prosper. So I used that as a platform to market myself, you know what I'm saying? Like, remember one time I got into a fight at Taco Bell, jumped over the counter, beat the nigga ass, cleared it, you feel me? Right. He robbed one of my homeboys. Well, not robbed him, but stole from him. Right. I just started using the media as itself and looking at the media and really studying what can I market. Sex sells, drug sell, medicine, you get what I'm saying? Like, the corporate, like, obviously music sells. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel a way that you had to have resorted to things that are deemed negative overall to be able to get that sort of attention? If you couldn't be the nicest guy in the world and you're not gonna get that level of attention. If you want me really to be honest, right now evil is winning. If you want me to be 1,000% honest, I mean, I am not. I was never pro Hillary Clinton. I won't say I was pro Hillary Clinton because they both had things I did not like. Her and Donald Trump. I want to say evil is winning because just due to the fact, like, all right, Donald Trump is doing, like, it's unfortunate because there are certain things that he's doing that is going to help us financially that needs to be done. He's destroying in order to create. Now, as far as the things he says to people or how he expresses himself or his own personal life, you know what I'm saying? No, I do not agree with. But as far as the bigger picture, because they're, like, within the karmic cycle between black and white, you know what I'm saying? There's two important things, life and death. There is no ideal right and wrong. There is only good and evil, or birth and destruction. So the real thing is you cannot create until you destroy. You know what I'm saying? And there cannot be one without the other. Between that, there has to be that thin line or that equality. So within what we're actually going through, we're going through the destruction process in this entire universe. You know what I'm saying? Like, we look like we're about to go into World War III. If you ask me, we look, because the way it's going is we're pointing fingers and picking fights with damn near everybody. Right. You know about who was it they launched the missile on? It was Afghanistan. Afghanistan. The mother of all bombs. It was Afghanistan? Yeah, it was. Okay. So I know he had just fired a missile. Actually, I think it was Syria.
They dropped the bomb. Well, they did. They fired missiles in Syria, but they dropped the huge bomb in Afghanistan.
Again.
Yeah.
See, so it looks like right now we really are reaching that process where we're breeding new destruction. You know what I'm saying? And we can't mold that new creation of equality unless our people are willing to take control as well. If you let, like, the president don't even run shit. Just for everybody that don't know that. Congress runs everything. Congress runs everything. Nobody knows that. Like, a lot of people do not know that, except popular politicians and people that actually dwell into that and want to educate themselves with that matter. You know what I'm saying? But he don't run shit right now. Congress has to pass over on everything. So, I mean, as far as, ask your question again. Sorry, I got so deep into it.
No, it's all good. What I really wanted to kind of like bring alignment to actually is that you talked about evil being winning right now and the different things you have to do to get attention and to market yourself and stuff like that. So now what happens when you do all these evil type things to get the attention, and then boom, you got the attention, people are paying attention to you, you drop in amazing music, and then Kodak Black, XXXTENTACIon. Now you have to pay for the stuff that you did in the past or things that you may have been involved with in the past to get that into that attention, and now it's burdening you as you're trying to now move forward with your career and your life.
In all honesty, life is a gamble. What are you with? Life don't come without sacrifice. Everything you got right here, right now, I know came with sacrifice. None of us can deny it. Everything. Now, I'm not talking about no evil chanting, super sacrificial, motherfucking Illuminati shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about nothing. But what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to lose in order to gain what you need to prosper? What are you willing to lose to evolve? I lost 9 months of my life to evolve, but that's what I needed. I needed to go to jail so I could evolve. You know what I'm saying? What are you willing to lose? This is what me, Kodak, and every single person in Florida wanted as far as those who are prospering to get where they needed. You lose friends. You lose countless money. Sometimes some people lose their family members. You know what I'm saying? Some people lose their respect. You damn near lose everything. You know what I'm saying? You lose everything to acquire what you want. So in the end of the day, you have to decide for yourself. Nobody else can decide for you what is worth it. You know what I'm saying? Am I willing? All right, I'm about to go hit this lick. Am I willing to face 5 years to possibly just touch like 5 bands? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Am I willing to take that risk? All right, I want to be a multi-platinum artist. Am I willing to go sign with RCA Records and be a slave for at least 5 to 6 years? You know what I'm saying? And market for them rather than myself. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. What am I willing to put myself through? How much pain can I endure? Mm-hmm. Thank you. How much pain can I endure? How much am I willing to endure is a real question. The situation at hand is this. It's not about what you're dealt with. It's about how you deal with it. Nobody else can make a decision for yourself, or nobody else can change your destiny but you. The pen is in your hands. You narrate your story. You know what I'm saying? So it's really, like I said, it comes down to who are you, what do you want, and what are you willing to endure, what are you willing to sacrifice? So with your situation right now, and by the way, it's Papa Keith here with, sometimes I say your name perfectly. And sometimes when it gets to the Spanish part, XXXTENTACIon. That's decent enough shit. And we're chopping it up on a different level. We're not really talking about rap. We're talking politics, you know. Politics, PK for PM. When you look at Kodak's situation, and you can maybe say, well, you know, it's similar. Yes. You know, we both from, you know, Broward County. Yes. He's had his trials and tribulations, and you've seen him going through it, and now you're going through your own stuff. What's your take on that? If you ask me, I was waiting for this one. If you ask me, as far as the information that I was given on his situation, because I got close. I got a couple. I don't want to say we're close. Because I don't know Kodak. I don't know. I'm not gonna claim to know him. You know what I'm saying? I support bro because he from where I'm from. Right. You know what I'm saying? I ain't from the know. You know what I'm saying? But we from Broward. You know what I'm saying? And I grew up around the know. You know what I'm saying? So I know that shit real crazy over there. You know what I'm saying? So to be a young nigga and be Zoe and make it out the hood. You You know what I'm saying? I gotta support what bruh stand for, and I gotta support the struggle. You know what I'm saying? I gotta represent for the struggle. You know what I'm saying? Even if I didn't have it that hard, because he probably had to work harder than me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So in his situation, from what I know, he went to trial. Obviously, they kept pushing his trial back, scheduling different dates. On the day of, he was found guilty on 5 counts. As far as the specifics of the counts, I need to make sure I know. So this is just an assumption, but this is the information stipulated around the assumption. What was said to me by a close A&R to Kodak was he was in court. You see on the video the girl, the alleged, well, I don't want to say girl, but she did some girl-ass shit, some little girl-ass shit lying on a young nigga, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
A grown-ass woman lying on a young nigga. She did some little girl shit. But basically you see on camera the female groping him and sexually assaulting him. Now there's 2 situations just like that. The one with Kevin Gates and Kodak Black, which are both currently incarcerated, facing real serious time due to the system, how tight it is. You know what I'm saying? There is no slack in that system. If there's like, I'm gonna go back to the point. You see on the video, like I said, her sexually assaulting him, just like you see in Kevin Gates' video, the woman sexually assaulting him, and then they respond. As far as how Kodak responded, I'm not sure, but how it seems, what I saw from the news, is that he kind of like gets back and he's trying to push her off of him, you know what I'm saying, to protect himself. I'm not sure, but I think he was found guilty on that count. I'm not sure about that. But as far as the information around it, bro, it's like, you can go to jail today. And I like, not even just in his situation, just in general, because there's nothing to continue on his situation in specific, you know what I'm saying? You could go to jail today, right? I met at least 10 to 15 people in jail that were in jail for no apparent reason. Like, I could give you an example. All right, there was a white man, actually, and I'm pro the people just like you. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about equality. I don't give a fuck about the specificness of the race. If you want of the race, you want equality, you have to be and think equal.
Yep.
You cannot. But every time you say, all right, Black Lives Matter, because Black lives do matter. I was pro Black Lives Matter at a certain point, but you have to evolve past that. The whole point is equality. You're not going to reach equality if you keep aiming for the black people. All it's going to do is empower you yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's only going to empower the black race. The more we go towards, okay, right and wrong, good and evil, and we try and get a certain amount of structure around good, you get what I'm saying, rather than evil, we can move forward and we can evolve as a being and as a group and as a human race and as a human mind. You get what I'm saying? So as far as the jail system, obviously we all know right now, the jail system, they got a lot of slip-ups. They got a lot of fuck shit that goes on. There's a lot of corrupt people working behind closed doors and behind the scenes. Like in situations like this, like I think like a month or 3 ago, when I was locked up, I was reading the news. Well, I mean, I was reading the newspaper, and in the newspaper, there was a white man that was arrested, and he was in jail for about 3 to 4 months. Now, in that amount of time, bro, you could lose your mom, you could lose your dad, your grandmother, a girlfriend. You could lose your house, your job. You know what I'm saying? You could lose everything you worked so hard to build.
Yeah.
Off of one situation for 30 seconds. For one wrong turn. The wrong person could find you off of one wrong turn. The body cams, they said, okay, we were gonna be more safe with body cams. Okay, we were gonna be more safe with the car cams. But what are they doing when they're on body cams arresting people that are like, all right, like a fine, right? They're like, all right, I'm going to be very specific. The man was arrested and sat in jail for 4 months, right? They end up finding the suspect that was allegedly him, find out it wasn't him, you know what I'm saying, then release him and pay him. But sometimes money is not enough, you know what I'm saying? Why can't the officer that arrested me, like, now why can't the officer that arrested me be arrested, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, why can't he be punished or serve years in prison?
So it's accountability.
You get what I'm saying? You should be accountable for fucking me. Go serve jail time, bro.
Right.
Fuck PC, go in general custody. You know what I'm saying? Go sit where murderers is at and rapists is at. You know
because
what I'm
that's
saying?
what you put me through.
Because that's what you put me through.
Right.
Go sit in the cell for 6 fucking months. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Fuck that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Go to prison for a little bit. Go have niggas trying to assault and fuck you over. You know what I'm saying? Go have niggas stump your face and go have niggas do crazy shit to you.
But there's been movies about that where people will go to jail for something that they didn't do,
Exactly.
and they become a whole different person because of the process in jail.
Yes,
it changes them.
It changes
you know what I mean?
But see, that's the fucked up part, because it can make you a phenomenal person, or it can make you a complete demon on earth. Because there's some people that go in there, like, bro, if you go in there already a hard nigga, you gonna have so many niggas press you, bro, just for some fucking points. You know what I'm saying? You gonna go in there and come out a complete thug, a complete imbecile. You get what I'm saying? You're gonna go in there and come out, excuse my French note, and I'm not disrespecting retardism, but a complete retard. You're gonna just come out stupid, bro, with no purpose, just being stupid, doing stupid shit, trying to be the hardest nigga, which is not possible. You know what I'm saying? Or going in and having no goals. You lose sight of the purpose when you go in there. You know what I'm saying? And it's very hard when you go in there to even have faith in life. After a certain amount of time, you even believe you're not getting out after a certain amount of time.
Wow.
Like, bro, sitting in there for even more than a week, you forget what outside looks like. You might forget what your mother looks like. So if you go in there in a situation where you don't have any bond money, you know what I'm saying? You don't have money for a lawyer. Your parents passed away. You know what I'm saying? You don't have a girlfriend. Your girlfriend passed away. Everybody around you is nowhere to be found. You don't know anyone's number by heart. They're not letting you out, bro.
I'm here with XXXTENTACION.
Tentacion, yes.
Tentacion.
Yeah.
All right, that's what's up. What's your heritage?
There's a bit of a mix-up, but right now I thought I was Egyptian, but I found out I'm Syrian.
Syrian?
Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah. I
How
found out I'm
ironic.
Syrian. Yeah, wow. I'm still trying to like do my thorough research.
What do people think? You're automatically Latin, or like, what do you get a lot?
I hear people think I'm Dominican.
Dominican,
and Hispanic.
Right. Do you speak any Spanish at all?
No. I like Spanish women, though.
Yes, I do too. That's what's up. What I'm trying to do, right, with the movement that I spoke to you about earlier, is I'm really trying to, because I'm not of your era.
Yes.
I'm the era before that.
Of course.
I'm trying to bridge the gap, because it's just so much of a disconnect between the eras. Like you said, part of my responsibility was to be able to show you the game and this and that.
You know what I'm saying?
From my side of things, I looked at it like I wasn't able to have that opportunity because of social media and phones and stuff like that. And it seems like, right, it seems like Generation X and millennials, it's just like, you know, it's like they know everything. You can't tell them everything. So it drew a big disconnect, whereas the generation before me was more connection, because it wasn't like social media.
There wasn't as much distractions. The new world order was not in place. The new world order is electronics. I just hope everybody knows that. That's what the new world order is. You don't have to leave your house no more. You know what I'm saying? You don't, bro. You're good. As long as you got a phone, you're good.
Exactly.
You order everything.
So what's happening now is that I see it and I woke up.
Yes.
I say everything like I woke up, you know, where you no longer, what you're doing is feasible or it makes sense, and you realize that you have a higher purpose, and that's what I relate to woke up. So since I woke up, I've been wanting to bridge that gap. You don't understand how this conversation with you is probably more important
than anything else right now.
Right.
If you want like to move forward, even with your movement, because I actually just started a movement, and I would love if you guys were pro this movement as well. I started a movement called Free the Slaves 2017. To bridge that gap, we obviously have to set targets. You know what I'm saying? What are we targeting? What is it that we want to change in specific that can basically move throughout the United States? What are laws that we can pass throughout the United States, or things that we can change throughout the United States? So actually, I came up with quite a few things. Here, I actually wrote it down. All right. As far as the judicial system in itself, when you are convicted, or you are going to be found convicted of a crime, there are elements that must be efficient for you to be found guilty of that crime, right? Mm-hmm. So the smaller the crime or the charge pressed against you is the least amount or the smaller amount of elements that there is. So if you have a misdemeanor loitering, they'll have one element. You know what I'm saying? Or if you have a petty theft, they'll have like one or two elements. You know what I'm saying? So those are very easy to convict you on. But if you have a felony, sometimes, or in some cases, and this is where it gets really like fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
In some charges they'll have like 5 elements, 5 to 4 elements, which is harder to convict you of. You know what I'm saying? That's fair. But in some important charges they'll have like 2 to 3. You know what I'm saying? There's in elements as far as in Florida. Now, what I want to do is I want to make the element amount for every charge skyrocket. Because the judicial system and the state attorney's office, no disrespect to anyone, this is how y'all make y'all money, but this is not right. You know what I'm saying? I want to raise the amount of elements, and I also want to change this because there's a difference right now in Broward County and Dade County. Now, in Dade County, a lot of people are getting let go and they're getting to go home and fairly let go, obviously, because there's something there's 2 differences. In Broward County State Attorney's Office, I'm not sure if you were aware, is paid to prosecute. Therefore, once a case is opened, when you see someone get arrested, right, and they sit for 9, 10 months, you always, for some petty shit, right, you always wonder, why do they sit so long in Broward County? Anywhere else, they would have got let go. It's because while you're in jail, the Broward County State Attorney's Office, whatever state attorney you have on that case, is getting paid.
They get a check for everybody.
To prosecute. But while you're in jail, she's still getting paid.
Right.
So day by day, the check is just broken, spread apart. You know what I'm saying? She's getting paid to prosecute you. She might not get paid to win the trial, so she don't give a fuck about trial. She gonna make you sit, make you take probation, let you fuck up so you can come back, she can make more money. You know what I'm saying? So then you end up getting convicted for violating. They're gonna try and make you fuck yourself. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna make you sit, get some money, then let you go. It's not about, okay, did he do this shit? I wanna let him go. You know what I'm saying? So I want to also change that. I want to start a movement. Well, obviously, I'm starting a movement, but I want to start a protest to move to obviously, we have to get a lobbyist involved and speak to different politicians or however the corporate way to
I would
go
love
about
to
it.
help you with that.
And see, I'm not even done yet. I'm telling you, like,
Right.
I'm planning some crazy, like some crazy, real crazy revolutionary shit. I want to change, obviously, them not being paid to prosecute. I want to change that. They got to make their money somehow. Yes. Okay. Get paid to win trial. Get paid because he was guilty and you found out he was guilty. Get paid for that.
But not for him to sit there.
Not for him to sit there. Fuck that.
Because then that's what you're encouraging.
Fuck that. I seen he was 76 or 80 years old. I seen an 80-year-old man sitting in jail for running a fucking red light and then not going to court. And he was in there for a year.
Because he couldn't have the money. Because he didn't have the money. Yeah.
Which of his family
It's
members
true.
gonna be alive? An 80-year-old man. He was telling me his story, and I had to have someone translate. He was telling me I was on probation for running a red light because I was driving. He was driving drunk apparently. But you feel me? He ain't harmed nobody. He didn't do anything. You know, nobody was hurt in the process of it. You know what I'm saying? I would understand if someone was hurt in the process of it.
Right.
But he got home safe. But obviously he got pulled over, went to jail. He got placed on probation. Okay. He never reports. He runs away from the probation because he old school nigga. He don't want to do that shit. You feel me? He don't want to report to someone. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? So basically, like 10, maybe 20, 30 years later, you know what I'm saying? He's driving, runs a stop sign, and this is why he's old, you know? Police pull him over. They see how old the man is. They see, okay, he has a warrant for ducking probation like 30 years ago. Instead of being a man, you know what I'm saying? Being a man like, yo, I don't want to ruin this old guy's life. I don't want to be a piece of shit of a person, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to put him in there and not worry. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, being a person, bro, is like, people aren't human. The money is what it is, bro.
Greed
is ruling us, bro.
Yeah.
Instead of being a person, he arrests the guy, and sure enough, I end up in jail with him, you know what I'm saying? So, as far as getting to the movement and changing it, like I said, the elements, increasing the elements for every charge. I want more than like 4 to 5 elements for every charge. I don't give a fuck what it has to be, even if it's simple. But I want them to have to be able to convict you of everything, because when you are going to be convicted, obviously they have to find you guilty and they have to get all of the elements. If they miss one, they lose trial. Just one. So it's already hard for them.
So that way it's not so easy to lock people up.
To convict you for a large amount of time, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, like I said, the protests towards non-prosecution, towards getting rid of the prosecution. Also, I want to do it to where, say for instance, I'm gonna give you an example. Do you have a girlfriend or a wife or anything like that? All right, say for instance, and I'm obviously this is not real. This is just an example. You and your wife get into it, right? And I'm gonna do it in a reverse way. Your wife punch you in your shit. You know what I'm saying? And cops get called because you want her to be detained but not arrested.
Right.
They're gonna arrest her. They take her to jail. They're gonna charge her. They're gonna force you. This is how it works. So they're gonna force you to go to court against her, and then they're gonna threaten you. This is what the state attorney's office is doing. They're going to threaten you. They're gonna make you feel unsafe, so you can prosecute your wife.
Right.
They're gonna say if you don't prosecute your wife, you're gonna go do 10 years in prison for false imprisonment. You know what I'm saying? For false imprisonment of someone that basically didn't commit a charge. You know what I'm saying? They basically like twist shit. They twist it in any shape or form they can. So there's a form that I know not a lot of people are aware of. It's called a non-prosecution form, right? If you sign the non-prosecution form, you're basically agreeing not to prosecute. You know what I'm saying? You're basically saying, I don't want to prosecute this person. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be where if you sign a non-prosecution form, that the charge is dropped. If it's a victim case, the non-prosecution form eliminates all things. It's immediately dropped because the non-prosecution form basically doesn't do a fuck thing at this point in time, which it should. You know what I'm saying? Because you're basically saying, I don't want to follow up in court. I don't want to go to trial. I'm not going to trial against them because either I don't want to, I don't feel safe, or I just don't want to. I don't want to see them in jail.
Right.
It literally does nothing at this point in time. It just secures you saying that you didn't want to come to court. And then what they'll do is they'll threaten you, and then they'll force you, give you a subpoena, and then if you don't go to that subpoena, you'll end up in jail for like a few days. You know what I'm saying?
Not to tie in anything, because I know you're unable to talk about your current case.
Of course.
Does it have a level of correlation?
As far as prosecution?
No, based on the example you just gave me. Is it something that you personally can relate to? I do not in any way want to discuss your current case.
I know not to incriminate myself.
Right, but do you draw some kind of reality from that? What you just told me?
What I was
basically them pitting loved ones against each other.
I'll give you a perfect. I'll use myself as an example. It wasn't a loved one, but the situation that I'm convicted on currently, that I'm on probation for. Unfortunately, it wasn't true. I can't speak on the case itself or the crime allegedly committed. But when I was in court, it just so happened that my victim, showed up to court. Now I didn't know a fuck thing about this. I was like, yo, fuck. I feel like I'm fucked. You know what I'm saying? He's probably gonna say some crazy shit. But sure enough, my lawyer comes to me and he's like, hey, basically, he's saying he doesn't want to prosecute. But the state attorney feels like you're talking to him or whatever because this nigga randomly popped up to court. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, he didn't do this shit. I'm not prosecuting. You know what I'm saying? So, basically, I don't know whether a non-prosecution went forward with, but I sat in jail a couple months after, and then once I finally took my plea, you know what I found out after I took my plea? The victim stopped answering. He went ghost on the state prosecutor, you know what I'm saying? And they had no case. So I'm on probation for 6 years, but they had no case. Now I can't fully dwell into it, but they had no case. Gotcha. And as far as the non-prosecution coming forward, I'm not sure. I think what I was told that a non-prosecution was from the jump. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't have a victim from the jump. Now as far as my other case in Miami, of course, obviously there's a victim, but in that one there was no victim. So I ended up taking a probation just so I could get out, bro, because I didn't want to stay for another 3 months. You know what I'm saying? So in situations like that, that's what I'm saying. If we upgrade the power of the non-prosecution, so many people will be let out of jail and won't sit for as long. You know what I'm saying? If someone because kindness can take place. You know what I'm saying? Or pity or remorse. You know what I'm saying? For people can take place. It gives the power to the people, not the system.
What are some of the biggest misconceptions that you believe people have when it comes to you?
That I'm an imbecile. That I'm an imbecile because that is what I displayed previously, and due to my previous arrests, they think I'm an imbecile. But I'm actually probably one of the most innovative young people I know of my generation.
Wow. Do you feel like sometimes that when you're prejudged or you're judged based on something you've done in your past, it sometimes feels like it's almost impossible to outlive it?
According to who? That's the real question. According to who? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not living to ideally impress anyone. I'm living, my whole goal throughout the human race, for that matter, is to watch everybody evolve. You know what I'm saying? For the human race in itself, or the human mind, to evolve, because that's the whole process from birth. From you're 1 year old, all you do is evolve. Your understanding and your grasp only evolves. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The more you know, the more you understand, is the more you're able to do. The more power you have. Knowledge is power. They don't want you to have knowledge at this point in time. That's why the New World Order is here. That's why they have all these fucking distractions to keep you from enlightening yourself. Self-enlightenment is the key. I can't say too much. I won't say too much.
Right.
To get myself into some shit. But self-enlightenment is a key. I'm only going to say anything that goes around the Buddhist way of life. You get what I'm saying? I relevate it towards that because that's already out there, so nobody can come target me for something that's already out there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The Buddhist way of life
right.
teaches you, you know what I'm saying, that all right, the more you dwell into the human mind, right, you understand that there are different realms of thought, right? There are 9 dimensions. So when we go all the way down to Egyptian times, right? I want you to like even let's even relevate the current currency of the U.S., right? We're currently in the United States, correct? Where is the pyramid? Where are the pyramids?
In Africa.
In Africa, right? So why is the African pyramid on the U.S. currency if it has nothing to do with the United States? Why is it?
It's a good point.
Nobody. So when you think about the all-seeing eye and the pyramid on the back, right? And I'm gonna explain this in a less controversial way. You know what I'm saying? To not get myself into some shit. I'll explain it in a simple way that's not gonna get anybody fucking riled up. The eye on the top of the top of the pyramid, right, is what they call ideally the third eye. I don't want to dwell into that too much, but the third eye ideally is the human mind. So the more you think about it, the way to get yourself up the pyramid scheme is to use your fucking brain, bro. The more creative or innovative you become, the more you study, the more time you take to really dwell into your mind rather than the world outside of your mind, is the more you unlock. So like the people who have photographic memory, like nobody realizes how much the brain is really fucking capable of, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you can do some real crazy shit, bro.
Yeah, you can.
You can do some real crazy fucking shit, bro. Like all right, photographic memory. I don't have photographic memory, but somebody do. You know what I'm saying? Or like the people that dream. You enter a whole different realm, a whole different realm of thought. You get what I'm saying? So when you really think about it, when you leave this realm of thought, where do you go? When you dream, where are you?
So that's the dimensions.
That's the difference between this realm and others. Now there's different realms. There's at least 9, and there's even animals that can see in all 9 realms or all 9 dimensions, like the snake, for example, or the cat. That you see the equivalency of their eyes. You know what I'm saying? They see all 9 dimensions. Like get a cat, bring him to the house, set him in the middle of the floor, and you'll know if you got ghosts running around your house. Because the cat will look like cat. You'll notice that you see how cats look around because they see everything. They're not looking at nothing, but they're looking at something that's in a different dimension that you can't see.
And they have that capability versus us.
Exactly. What we have is called the naked eye. But see, you can evolve. You can evolve as a person. You can evolve as a mind. You know what I'm saying? You can evolve physically or mentally or spiritually. It just depends on what you want to meditate on or what you want to practice. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's just a way of life. That's a way of thought. Now, the more you upgrade and evolve in your mind, bro, you won't even give a fuck about none of this shit, bro. And I'm trying to get to that point where I don't give a fuck about none of this shit, bro. I don't give a fuck about anybody, bro. And I mean it. Like, I'm trying to evolve past caring for anyone. And I say that in a non-disrespectful way.
Or selfish, yeah.
I'm gonna be able to teach people that and then I'm gonna be able to pull the few people out of this realm of slavery. You get what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to get to. You know what I'm saying? I want to reach that self-enlightenment or that amount of power to where I can save the whole human race and move forward and show them that the wars and the fucking wars of the religion and the races and everything, and just the controversy and everything in the media.
Where did this all come from? Tell us something that like we don't know about X. Like, where did this come from? What birthed this spirit in you and this acknowledgement and this desire to want to, like, you know, feed yourself with information and knowledge and search for all these different things? What birthed that?
I feel like I'm from the moon, bro. Real shit. Like when I was born, bro, I just wanted to die. Full, like when I came, like, bro, it was weird to say, like now I know it. That when I was born, I'm like, fuck, I'm back again. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt. I've always felt that way. Like, fuck, I'm back again in this fucking like realm of slavery. Cause that's what this fucking is, bro. Like everything is slavery. No matter how we look at it, you just joined the system, bro. You just joined the system from working the fucking, like, from going to school, bro. Like, all right, we gonna start a program, right? We gonna start a program. I'm gonna really, your movement and my movement, we gonna really take that shit somewhere.
Yeah.
And start doing experiments. I'm gonna really dwell into politics and science, but like from the minute I was in school, bro, like it's funny because I went from school to jail, you know what I'm saying? And there's no difference, bro. There's no fucking difference, bro. There's no difference because you're still a slave. You're still a slave and you're still not free, and they're still consuming your time. Because the minute you realize time is the most important thing, even though time don't exist, time is the most important thing. Nothing else matters. As long as you got time, you good. As long as you're not like 80 something and you're on the verge of death, you're good, bro. As long as you don't got no sickness, you're good. So the whole point was, like, when I was born and I was growing up, I just knew, bro. It's hard to say. I just knew. And I was always a rebel, bro. Like, you guys, I wish I would have brought my mom in here. I was always bad. I was always like, fuck anything that don't matter to me, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's good to support that strong mind, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes it can get them into trouble that they don't want to get into. But sometimes that is what they need to build them.
Well, the system's not built to really grow that.
Exactly.
So that's why it's looked at as outcast. Because even in my younger days, you know, what they call now is ADD and ADHD. To me, it was just, I was a class clown.
I was just hyper,
I couldn't focus. I was hyper. You know what I mean?
Put names on everything.
Right, but now we see that most of the people who were class clowns, hyperactive, ADHD, are the most talented people we have on this earth.
They have personalities. They want you to be a fucking robot. They want you to be a drone. They want, bro, no offense to overweight America. No offense. And I'm not talking about the people that obviously are naturally overweight. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking to people that were about a normal size and then got overweight because they didn't want to do anything with their lives. They wanted to sit down, dwell into the media, watch fucking movies, eat popcorn, and not do anything for themselves. You know what I'm saying? That didn't want to dwell into that. If you're doing something with your life, you know what I'm saying? Kudos. You know what I'm saying? But they want you to sit in front of the media, feed money. You know what I'm saying? They want you to buy the new Apple iPhone. They want you, bro, they don't want you to think for yourself. Point blank, fucking period.
Oh, gosh, X, I could talk to you for another hour. We've been talking for 45 minutes. I mean, I don't know if we could set up where we can do something like on a consistent basis, where we can, you know, like on a podcast level.
Whatever you want to do, brother. Because I'll talk about this shit 24/7. Guess what, bro?
But this is good stuff, and I think, like, again, my goal and your goal, they're in line in the sense that, you know, I feel like I want to reach back and be able to connect with you and others like you. You know what I mean? And this gives me that opportunity, that platform to do that. You know, and we can talk about politics, and we could talk about life, and we could talk about, you know, personal things and stuff like that.
This is what the radios need to be doing instead of talking about Beyonce left the house and motherfucking heels while she was pregnant. Who gives a fuck?
Truth be told,
I don't give a fuck. I don't.
And neither do I.
Beyonce, but I don't give a fuck. You feel me? But this what y'all want to talk about, bro? I don't want to talk about that shit. I want to talk about why the fuck did that nigga kill Eric Garner? Or why the fuck did that white man kill Eric Garner? And why is he not in prison today? You know what I'm saying? Why are we forgetting about the black boy that died 2 weeks ago? Why are we forgetting about the woman that was in the car with her boyfriend whose boyfriend had a firearm permit and license to carry? Why are we forgetting about these people and we worry about all the new bullshit? We worry about all the new Giuseppe's, the new Gucci shoes that came out.
It's all distractions.
You know what I'm saying?
It's all distractions. I mean, I agree with you, and we're definitely on the same page. And listen, 33 is here. You know what I mean? DJ 33 and the third, and I constantly, commend him on his vision and allowing me, because that's how I felt. I'm not a gossip person. I don't care either, and I just felt like when my understanding of radio was community.
Yes.
Originally, radio was designed to let the community know what's up, what's good. And I know over the years it's got dissolved. And I have an amazing opportunity and a platform. Even the fact that 33 says, yo, XXX wants to talk about politics, and you have somewhere to go. And you ain't talking to no corny ass nigga and dealing with the bullshit. You're talking to somebody that can relate and give you that platform, and we gonna put this shit out there. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so the change is there, and there's a lot of people that feel the same way you feeling, and we just have to support one another, and we just have to feed people slowly and hope they catch on. And this is a start. This is a part of it.
Free the slaves 2017. Free the slaves 2017. Equality is the key. I want to say one more thing before we move on. The whole purpose, and I keep saying this. I'm saying this 1,000 times. From birth till death, the whole purpose is to evolve. You are going to reach a still point or a purgatory, relevant to the Catholic religion, where they say purgatory is a moment of stillness. You are going to reach that purgatory state of mind often, because there will be a chess piece that you need to move. It will either make you fall or you will evolve, but you always must evolve, and you must see what is keeping you still or in purgatory. You need to keep your eyes open, think with your mind and not with your body. People often dwell into that body high. They want to do whatever makes their body feel good. They don't want to stimulate their mind or move their minds forward. You're not going to evolve or have a good life unless you increase your knowledge, and that goes for any dream. If you want to be a journalist, if you want to be a videographer, a photographer, a newscast person, you know what I'm saying? If you want to invent the new shoe, an artist, as far as visually, you know what I'm saying, or musically, you know what I'm saying? You have to evolve. Study the dictionary. Study the thesaurus. You know what I'm saying? Study every Bible that's out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a follower of a religion, but I studied all of them. So I know the overall point of it, that there is a higher power. That's the whole point. You know what I'm saying? The whole point is evolution. If you're not evolving, your life is going to go to shit, and you're a slave. You're a slave in 2017. If you think anything is going to change, it's not going to change. Michael Jackson said it way back in the day. If you want to make a change, you got to look in the mirror and change yourself. It starts with you, because one mind controls a lot of things. You have a magnetic field. You have to understand this is just one planet out of all of the universe. You know what I'm saying? We're not the only ones here, first of all. This is just one planet out of the entire universe. You have a magnetic field, whatever you wish to acquire. Applying the law of attraction all the way down to Albert Einstein and Isaac Newton. Applying your laws of the universe. You know what I'm saying? Applying these things. You understand that your brain is the most important thing. And if you give your brain to the system, you're feeding them and not yourself. So you need to evolve. You need to increase your knowledge. Once you increase your knowledge, everything is easy.
XXXTENTACIon. I'm going to keep trying. Thank you so much. This was a first for me too. A pleasure too, to be able to interview or talk or chop it up with an artist and not talk about one piece of music. You know what I'm saying? Just talk about life, politics, and other stuff, man. I hope we could definitely continue the conversation. It's been an honor and a pleasure. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you, what you're doing. I wish you all the best moving forward with your situation, and please don't be a stranger.
Not at all.
Again, I did hear about you when, you were locked up. I became a fan of the music. I made some predictions saying this guy is going to be, you know, next up and stuff like that. I don't often throw out that stuff like that. You know what I mean? I'm not known to just talk, you know, loosely and stuff like that. Exactly. So I kind of had a connection with you before I had a connection with you. And maybe that goes into a lot of the things that you were saying earlier.
Right. That's all.
You know what I mean? So this I appreciate this. And I appreciate you.
Bro, I appreciate, bro. Y'all giving me this is my dream, nigga. I was like, Mama, I'm gonna be on the radio, Mama, and here it go. You feel me? This is my dream. So, nigga, I'm thankful for y'all. You feel me? But big homie always blessed me, fool.
Yeah, DJ 33
to 30 always blessed me. Yeah. So, nigga, now Papa keep blessing me. So then I'm feeling like the chosen one right now. You feel me? So
for sure.
It's a blessing. I love it. I appreciate y'all, and I love y'all for this opportunity. I'm gonna pay homage whenever deemed necessary. Anything y'all need. Likewise.
Thank you so much, brother.